In today's new to Pilates class, we're going to be playing with levers. So what does that mean? We're going to be trying out exercises, doing a short leg and then a long leg version, or a short arm and then a long arm version, and exploring what that means for our core stability, our core strength, and our core endurance. Let's get started. We're going to come onto our hands and knees and begin with a nice cat stretch. So allowing the tailbone to roll toward the floor, deepening through the abdominals as you round yourself through the spine. And then sliding the tailbone free, rippling through the spine and opening up through the chest. Let's do that again. Scooping and deepening through the abdominals, rounding yourself through the spine. Widening through the sit bones, rippling through and allowing the chest to lift. One last time here, warming up that spine this morning, or this afternoon, or this evening, whenever you are watching today's video and doing today's workout. Let's find a nice long line. So from here, I'm going to keep my knees down on the ground, bringing my hand behind the head, and we begin to play with the levers. I'm going to rotate my head and my collarbone and my rib cage toward my supporting arm, and then I'm going to open up toward the camera. So this is our thread the needle movement, but we're doing it with a short arm. Just feeling how that changes the amount of work that has to happen through our obliques. 1, 2, 3, rotating through the head, the collarbone, the rib cage. One more time. Pushing the floor actively away through our supporting arm. Now, come back to center, reach the arm out long, and let's do the long arm version. So I'm going to bring the arm under my body as I rotate my head, my collarbone, my rib cage, and then I'm going to open up to the camera. Let's do it again. Head and collarbone and rib cage and opening. 2 more, just sensing how it feels a little different than it was with the short arm. One more time. Now, we are not going to go to the other side right away. We're going to add an extra long lever by lifting the opposite leg out. So reaching my opposite leg out, keeping my hips as square as possible. The hand is going to come behind the head, and I'm going to do 3 more thread the needle rotations, but with the leg lifted. Now you can keep the leg down if it feels like it's too much today. One more time. I can already feel that I am working so much more through my abdominals for stability. I'm going to bring my arm out now and thread the needle. And open up. And I'm trying to keep my hips square the whole way through. That way I'm really rotating through my head and my collarbone and my rib cage. But my pelvis is going to stay quiet. Last one here. And down with the arm, down with the leg. Let's do the other side. I need to turn around because my trusty table here is in the way. So we begin with the hands and, the legs on the ground, one hand behind the head, bend elbow, and let's rotate 4 times. Opening up and rotate. Again, trying to maintain a pretty quiet pelvis. So we're not kind of wagging the doggy tail here. We're keeping a nice long spine. One more time, head and collarbone and rib cage. Keeping those abs pulled in. From here, I'm going to open my arm out nice and wide. Thread the needle with the long arm. Pushing the floor away and opening the arm up. Do that again. And open. And 2 more. And push the floor away. One more time like this. And down. We have to extend that opposite leg out now. Hips are square. Bring the hand behind the head and rotate. And open. So I can already feel my range of movement is much smaller on this particular part of the exercise. My abs are working much harder. Back to center, open that arm out to the side and rotate. And open. Now you can bring the leg down at any point. One more time here. And bring the arm down and bring the leg down. We're now going to come down onto our hands and knees and go into a donkey kick from here. So engaging my glute closest to the camera, I'm going to flex my foot and bring my footprint up onto the ceiling, then hinge at the hip and come back down. Up and down. By coming onto my elbows rather than up on my hands, I'm creating a longer lever and more range of movement for my leg to work through versus if I were to do it in this position. So I'm actually engaging more muscle fibers by coming down into the slight diagonal. We got one more time like this. Bent leg, feeling that work. Now I'm going to bend and stretch, bend back in. Trying to stay over top of my thigh bone, so I don't want to start sinking into my hip, but keeping a really long spine. Lots of core control here. Let's do this for 4 and 3. So we're feeling that bend to stretch, how the abs have to support that. Hold that out there. Tap your foot down, lift it up. Feel how this is a little different through the body now. Longer lever, heavier load. Let's do this for 4 and 3. Squeeze the bum. 2 and 1. Bend the leg in. We're not done on this side. We're going to go into a fire hydrant. So engaging my glute, I'm going to open my leg out to the side like I'm peeing on a fire hydrant and then bring it back down. Core is active and down. So again, just playing with how that glute feels as I lift and lower the leg in this externally rotated position. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to extend my leg out, bend it back in, and lower it down. Lift it up and extend and bend and down. Out and in. Let's do 3 more. Slowly adding that load in. And 2 and 1. Bonus 1 to come back out there. Extend the leg out. Now lower and lift the leg for 8 and 7. And feeling how that feels on the side of the glute. How it feels different with the long leg. 2, 1. Bend it with control. Lower it in and go for a little stretch. That is a lot of work for that glute. Stretch it out. And it is a lot of work for the upper body. I'm going to turn myself around so I've got room for the legs. But we have to do the other side. So coming into that 4-point kneel with the forearms on the floor. And we move to our donkey kick here. 8 of them. And 2, 3, and 4. Breathing through it. 5, 6, 7. Hold, oh sorry, we're not holding it out there. We are going to a bend and stretch. And a bend and stretch. Breathing through it. Let's do this for 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to lower the leg down and lift, lower and lift. And again. Let's do this for 4 and 3. Whew, keep that head lifted. You're going to want to drop it. Bend the leg in. We have to do our fire hydrants. Open the leg to the side and back down. To the side and down. 3, 4. Keep that head lifted. Push that floor away. 5. Whew, 6. I don't know about you, but I can definitely feel that work. Last one, let's extend the leg out. Bend it back in and down. 5 more. Up and out. Bend and down. Trying very hard not to sink into the opposite hip. Pulling those obliques in, pulling those abdominals in. Last one, stay up there. Tap it down for 8 and 7. feel how that heavy leg is going to make you work a little harder. Longer lever, more work here. 3, 2, 1. Bend the leg with control, lower it down, and go to a lovely child's pose. Stretch that out. Now, I'm just going to roll myself up through the spine. For the next section, it's an arm section. You can do this without weights, or you can do it with a pair of light weights. I'm going to add the light weights in, but if you don't have any on hand, you can absolutely do this without. All right, so I'm going to come into a goal post arm. Hands are in my peripheral vision, so they're not too far back. I'm not stressing my shoulder joint. And I'm just going to go into a little rotator cuff. So I'm pivoting around my elbow. If I had a table here, I'd just be pivoting down and up, down and up. Let's do this for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep the elbows bent. Bring them together for open elbows, open wide, keeping the ribs nice and supported here. So again, you can drop the weight at any point. You will absolutely feel this work. And 4, bring those elbows together. 3, 2, we're gonna do little pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Open wide. Press the arms up to the ceiling. Bend them. This is like a break by pressing them up and down, up and down. Let's do this for 4 and 3. 2. 2 pounds. Never felt so heavy. 1. And let's bring the arms down. Give your shoulders a shake. Now, you guessed it. That was our short lever version. We've got to do a long lever version to see how it affects the muscles differently. Let's bring the arms up, palms facing the ceiling. In your peripheral vision, and I rotate. Long arm rotator cuff here. So again, I'm going to feel most of this work, or see most of this work, happening at my elbow. What I want you to be careful of is that the shoulders aren't doing that work. You really want to make sure you're working from the shoulder joint itself and not by lifting the shoulders up. Last one. Keep those palms. Actually, let's turn them toward the camera, and we're going to close and open. So we call this hug a tree and open, hug a tree and open. Pulling those abdominals in. Let's do this for 4 and 3. Smile through it. It does help. 2. One more time. Little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to open the arms wide, turn the palms up. Oh, feels like a break bringing those arms up and down. Exhale. Inhale down. Exhale. And down. So I'm definitely starting to feel all those little shakety shakes. Whew. And down. I'm going to do one more time. Come up. Hold. I'm going to rotate head, collarbone, rib cage back to center. Keeping my arms in my peripheral vision and center. Head and collarbone, rib cage. One more time. Head, collarbone, rib cage, and center. Bring the arms down. I'm going to give them a moment. And then I'm going to do the long arm version of that. So, reaching my arms out, I'm now going to rotate head and collarbone and rib cage back to center. And head and collarbone and rib cage. And just feeling how the obliques become a little bit more affected. The arms become a little bit more affected. The core has to work just a little bit more. Back to center and down. You can get rid of the weights. We will not be needing those for the rest of the class. And we're coming on to our backs. All right. So continuing to play with levers, we're going to look at those legs again, bringing just one leg to tabletop. Let's go to a nice toe tap here. So I have my neutral spine. I'm going to deepen through my pelvic floor as I lower my leg down to the floor, lifting it up, and giving that glute just a little bit of a squeeze to help support as I lower it down, but allowing that glute to release as I bring it back up. Tummy is nice and supported, pelvis is quiet, and up. Pause here. Let's lift the arms up and hold the arms there. We're going to extend the leg out now and in. So feel how by extending the legs out and by lifting the arms, the core is now working much more to help stabilize that pelvis. Check in with yourself. Are you sinking into your low back to extend that leg? You want to try to maintain your neutral, that tension-free position. Feel the abdominals wrapping themselves around your center. We're going to do one more time like this. And then we're going to add the arms. So as I reach my leg out, I'm going to exhale and reach my arms back behind me, pulling back in. Feel how now this is a long, long lever. Far heavier load for the core to handle. Deepening through those abdominals. Are you pulling to your back? Check yourself. See if you need to engage that pelvic floor and those glutes and those abs just a little bit more. Now you can always take the arms out of it. One more time here. And in. We're going to go to a long leg. Keep the arms where they are. Slowly lower the leg down. Longest lever. Lift it back up. As you go down to the floor, pull up through that pelvic floor. Deepen those abs. Lift the leg up. Let's do 2 more like this. And then you guessed it, we are adding the arms to it. And up. Now let's add the arms. Feel what that does for our core stability. Pull it back in and up. And again. And up, exhale. And up. Is your inner thigh on your opposite leg active? Find it if it isn't. And then bend the leg and come on down. And we have to do all of this on the other side. So bringing the other leg to tabletop, maintaining your neutral pelvis. Let's do a little toe tap and lift. Toe tap and lift. So when I talk about the inner thigh on the supporting leg, I don't want that leg to start falling out to the side as the load gets heavier. I want your oblique to start to work more. So in order for that to happen, the inner thigh on your quiet leg needs to stay active. Otherwise, the weight of your leg is going to counterbalance the opposite side of the body, and the obliques are just not going to work as much. And that would be quite a shame. The arms are going to come up now. We're going to reach the leg out and pull it in. Feeling how just that little change makes a little change in the core stability. And exhale. Let's do 2 more like this. And 2. We're going to add the arms now, reaching the arms and the leg out and in. Deepen those abdominals, but maintain the neutral pelvis. And 3. And 4. Let's do one more time here for 5. In, and then we extend the leg up. Lowering that leg down to the ground. Feel like you're pulling it up through that pelvic floor to keep that pelvis nice and stable. Lift it up. Here's where you really want to check that inner thigh. Is it starting to fall to the side? We're going to do one more like this, and then we're going to add those arms. All right, here we go. 4 times with the arms, deepening those abdominals. And in. Exhale. Inhale up, exhale. Inhale up one more time. And up, bend the legs, down, and the arms come down too. All right, we're going to come up onto our forearms now. Actively pushing the floor away so I don't sink into my ribs and my shoulders. And I'm going to extend my leg closest to the camera out. Bending the leg in, I'm going to bring it up through tabletop to extension and lower down. So, the movement that we just did. But my body is in a different position. The lever is going to look a little different. I'm going to reverse it, just 3 in each direction. Lift that leg up, bend, find the floor, slide down. Lift, bend, and slide. One more time on this side, pushing that floor away and sliding the leg out. Let's do the other side. So I'm going to start with a nice long leg, sliding the toe toward my bum, bringing the leg through tabletop to extension, deepening the abdominals as I lower the leg down to the floor. And bend, and up, reach, long. One more time in this direction, push that floor away. Are you sinking? And let's reverse it, lift it up, bend, and slide. Up, bend, and slide. Last one here, up, bend, and slide. We're going to do that same exercise with long legs. Pushing the floor away. First leg, sliding it up. Deepen those abdominals as you lower the leg. Slide in, come through tabletop to extension. Feel how the abs have to work a little harder now that both legs are straight. Let's reverse it. Here's where we're going to work a bit more. Breath in, exhale, lift. Bend and slide. Up, bend, and slide. One more time in this direction. And keep the leg long. Let's go right away to the other side. Bringing the leg in, up through tabletop, deepening those abdominals as you lower down. And up, and lower. One more time. Push that floor away. We got 3 left, and then we lie back down. Slide leg. Lift, bend, deepen those abs, slide. One more time. And slide. Lower yourself. Whew. Onto the floor. Okay. One more set of abdominal work here. The double leg stretch. We're going to break this down. We're going to start with the legs in tabletop. Head down, arms down. Take a breath in. Exhale both legs. Feel what that is for the core. Bend back in. Exhale. And in. Exhale. And in. One more time here. Short lever to long lever. Hands are going to come behind the head. We're going to do the arm portion of this. So my arms are now going to reach toward my knees. I'm going to bend my elbows, and then it's like I'm taking off a top hat, reaching the arms out long, and then a big rainbow to come back to my elbows, or to my knees. Bend the elbows, take your top hat off. Big rainbow to the knees. 2 more. And in, last one, bend those elbows, reach the arms out, come to the knees, and then let's lower down through the head and shoulders. Now, we have to put all of that together. So the hands are going to come behind the head. We're going to curl ourselves up and reach long. Take a breath in. On my exhale, I'm going to bend my elbows and reach everything long. Big rainbow arc, bend everything in. Exhale. Inhale it back. Exhale. Now you can lower your head and shoulders down here. You can absolutely do the work like this. It is still going to make you work. We got 2 left. One more time here, however you choose. Circle those arms around, lower the head and shoulders, lower the legs. Excellent work. Come on up to sitting. All right, we're going to continue to work the low abdominals by taking a look at our half roll back movement. So feet are going to be out in front of us. We're going to sit nice and tall. And the lever now is going to be through the arms. Reaching the arms out, we're going to scoop through the tummy muscles, sliding off of those sit bones, and then getting nice and tall through the spine. Let the tailbone roll toward the pubic bone deepen toward that belly button, just off of your sit bones. Then roll yourself back up. So the pelvic wheel is very important here, rolling off of your sit bones. And up. One more time here, scooping through the tummy muscles. And we're coming back up. Okay, let's shorten the lever. Cross one arm on top of the other. Scooping through those tummy muscles. Feel how the abs have to work a little harder, especially on the way up. Rolling through those sit bones, deepening through those abs. Then get tall through the spine as you begin to roll that pelvis from under you. One more time like this, scooping and scooping and scooping. Getting tall through the spine. All right, hardest one yet. Cross those arms across the chest. Scooping through the tummy muscles. Coming back up is going to be the hardest. Take a breath in. On your exhale, start to roll that pelvis out from under you, getting tall through the head at the same time. Deepen those abs. Whew, let's do it again. Tailbone to pubic bone to belly button, deepen. Then we're gonna roll the pubic bone away from the belly button. Let the tailbone roll back out nice and free. One more time. Scooping through those tummy muscles. I know it's a lot of hip flexor. We're almost done. Scooping as you come all the way back up. Whoo, give your legs a little shake. We're gonna go into a little teaser prep here. So it's gonna be a bit of a balance challenge. Arms out, let's find our scoop, deepening through those abdominals. I'm gonna bring one leg to tabletop and place one hand behind that knee. Deepening my tummy muscles, I'm gonna bring my other leg to tabletop, hands behind the knee. This is my teaser prep position. Holding that little balance. If that is enough for you, you can stay there. If you'd like to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can reach one arm long and the other arm long and feel how now I've got a long lever with my arms and how that's a little bit more challenging for my balance. Bringing the hands back, lower the legs, and come on up. All right, we're gonna do that again. You can do that same exercise, or if you'd like to join me, you can try moving into the full teaser position. So, hands reaching out, scoop, scoop, scoop. One leg, hand behind the knee. The other leg, hand behind the knee. Okay, we did arms before, now it's legs. Squeezing those inner thighs together, I'm gonna try to extend from my knee. And bend. Try it again. Scoop, 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 deepen those abs. If that's enough, stay there. If you'd like to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can bring those arms up too. Longest levers. Ooh, it's tough. Bring those hands back behind the knees, bend the legs, and come on up. That balance is not easy. All right, we are going to move ourselves onto our side and go into a nice bit of sideline series from here. On our side, we're gonna make sure that that top hip is reaching out nice and long. I'm just gonna push myself back so I am in frame. Nice long waist here, and we're going into our open book. So I'm gonna squeeze my bum and lift my leg and come back down. And up and down. So we're gonna be playing with levers here, feeling how that affects how the leg responds to whether it is a short lever with a bent leg or a long lever with a long leg. One more time, we're gonna come up, bring that leg in line with the hip joint. I'm gonna flex my foot here and then engaging my glute, I'm gonna bring my footprint back and then bend the knee in. So again, this is the same donkey kick movement that we've been doing throughout the class, but now we're on our side, which is gonna make our obliques work that much harder. Two more. One more time. Bring the leg in. Now, long lever version. Let's extend the leg out and go into our side kicks. So I'm keeping my foot flexed. I'm going to bring it forward. I'm going to point my foot to bring my leg back. Bring it forward and back. Now we are going to be revisiting these side kicks with a long bottom leg in a few minutes. So I want you to remember what this feels like working through this long leg when the lever underneath is short. Two more. One more time. I'm going to bend my leg in and lower it down. So we're not done yet. Let's find that open book again. Lift and down. Keep that top hip reaching down to the end of your mat so that both sides of your waist are nice and long. And up and down. Let's do this for 3. We should start to be feeling a little bit of work in that side glute. Last one. Hold that there. Extend the leg out, bend it in, and lower down. So just kind of like our fire hydrants at the beginning. Now we begin to play with how much that glute needs to support. Here's the bent leg. Here's the long leg. Take a moment to feel that difference. Bend the leg and down. 2 more like this. Up and reach, bend, and in. On the next one, we're going to stay with the long leg. Hold it out there. Touch the floor. Lift it up. 8 and 7. Is it burning yet? Because I can definitely feel that work. And 4, 3. I'm not lying when I say smile through it. It really does make it easier. Last one here. Bend the leg with control and lower it down. We're going to extend the legs out now. So I have a nice long line with my body. So right away, longer lever, way more challenging for balance. I'm going to bring my feet forward just slightly so that way I have a little bit of a bend. It's going to give me a little bit more stability. Top leg only, lifts and lowers. Up and down. So my top hand is resting on the floor, but if you'd like to challenge yourself, you can place it on your waist or you can lift it up to the ceiling. It's completely up to you. Changing that arm position is going to change your core stability and your balance. Never a bad thing. 2 more. And 1. Now we're going to go to circles. So long lever, a little bit harder to maintain your balance. Core is working a little harder. 2 more in this direction. Let's reverse that for 6, 5, and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, side kicks again. Bring the leg forward and back. So not only is my glute tired at this point, but you may find that your range of movement is much smaller than it was when the lever on the bottom leg was short. We're in a much more unbalanced position. And so it's a lot easier to want to roll yourself through this work, which doesn't feel too good. So just make the movement smaller for 2 and 1. Whew, and down. Oh, that leg has gotten a good amount of work. We have to flip ourselves around and do all of this on the other side. So finding yourself in a nice side lying position, legs are bent at 90 degrees. I'm going to reach my bum toward the end of my mat so I have a nice long waist on both sides. Squeezing my bum, lift and lower here. And I want my knee to be in line with my ankle or a little bit above my ankle. I don't want it to be dropped. Squeezing the bum and up. I got 2 left here. And 1, we're going to hold that. Bring the leg down in line with the hip joint. I'm going to flex the foot. Here's my little donkey kick back and in. And again, trying to keep the knee fairly in line with the ankle or just a little above. As you get tired, you're going to want to drop that knee. I would suggest taking a break and then joining us again when you're ready. And 3, 2, 1. We're going to extend that leg out nice and long. Here's my side kick. Forward, point the foot, and back. Letting my glute release as it comes forward and engaging it back. Let's do this for 6 and 5. Trying to keep it in line with my hip joint. It's going to be really easy to want to kind of dip it down, but we're going to try to keep it in line. 1 left. Bend the leg in and lower it down. Now we have to do that front leg exercise. So back to our lovely little lift and lower here. Let's do this for 4, 3, 2. Hold that out there. Reach out and bend and down. Just 5 of these. Up, out, in and down. Up, out, in and down. Let's do one more. We're going to keep the leg out there. Lower and lift. Feel how that long leg is making that glute work. Ooh, and that core work. Just a little bit more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend with control. Lower it down. Long legs. So you can line yourself up with the edge of your mat on the back edge, and then bring your legs forward just like an inch or two. Like it's not a huge coming forward with the legs, because you do want to have the ability to challenge your balance, but still move. So from here, lift and lower that leg up and down, and just feeling what that feels like. One side is definitely going to feel easier than the other. Up and down. 4, 3, 2, 1. We got to do circles here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Oh, I'm sorry. 8, 7, 6. I think I said 5 circles, but we're doing 8. Well, we're just going to go with it. 3, 2, and 1. Here's my little side kick. I'm going to flex the foot forward, forward, and point back, forward, and point back. Feeling that work, feeling that balance challenge. 4, 3, oh, it's burning. 2, 1, and down. All right, come up onto your hands and knees. We're going to take a look at a little bit of planking work here. So on hands and knees, I'm going to tuck my toes under. I'm going to actively push the floor away. I want to make sure that my shoulder, my elbows, and my wrists are all in line with each other. My knees are right under the hip joints. And I'm anchoring into my big toes here. Breath in. Exhale. Hover those knees. Feel that work. Let's hold it for 4, 3. Keep the head lifted. 2, keep pushing that floor away. And 1. And down. Okay, we're going to walk our feet out and in. Take a breath in. Exhale up. We're going to walk one foot out and the other foot and in and in. Let's start with the opposite foot this time. In and in. Reverse that foot. So going from our short lever to our long lever. Let's stay out in our plank for this next one and hold. Now you can come down onto your knees if you'd like. That makes it sort of an in-between lever. Squeezing the bum, keeping the head lifted. Hold it for 4, 3, 2. Feel how that's different than just the knees hovering. Then the legs. Push yourself to a quick little child's pose. And then you're going to come back up into your plank. And we're going to do a little downward dog to plank action. So let's walk ourselves out into plank here. Hinge that bum up to the ceiling. This is a shortened lever. Squeeze the bum, come over the arms. Feel how the core, the glutes, the inner thighs kick in. Let the bum open wide. Keep the abdominals active. Exhale, squeeze the bum. And forward. One more time and we stay out there. Coming into our downward dog. I'm going to anchor into my left leg, bending my right knee, and squeezing my bum and doing a little donkey kick. Just 4 of them. And 4. Now straighten the leg, lift it for 4. Feel that difference. 3. In terms of glute engagement and core stability. 1. Let's come back into our plank. Take a break if you need it. But you can join me back in the exercise when you're ready. We're going to do the other side. I'm going to bend my left leg, flex the foot, and donkey kick up and down. Just 4 times. pushing that floor away. And 1, then I'm going to extend my leg all the way to the floor, lifting it up for 4. And 3, 2, 1, down it comes. Deepen those abs, find your plank. Hold it 3, hold it 2, hold it 1. Bend the knees, and a nice big child's pose. Bring your arms by your side. Even that goes long lever to short lever. Feel that difference in the shoulders. When you're ready, you can roll yourself up through the spine. We have one more section to look at. We are going to come to standing. You are going to balance a little bit in this next section. So if you want to go and grab a chair, a foam roller, or a counter, something close by, you can go ahead and do that now, and then I'll meet you standing. All right, so you do not need to see my feet for this. We are going to be kind of focusing more in this general area, so it's okay that my feet are cut off. Make sure you have something to help you with your balance, unless you would like to just challenge your balance, in which case you don't need to hold on to anything. We're going to have the feet a little bit wider than sit bone distance apart. I'm going to have a little bend in those knees, so I have a nice bit of hip crease. Arms are going to come up overhead. Hinging at my hip crease, I'm going to send my bum back. This is a nice long lever with those arms. And then I'm going to squeeze my bum and bring my pelvis forward slightly as I come back up. Hinging, widening those sit bones, and coming up. So this work is going to become important when we do it in a single leg version. So you consider this to be our little prep. 2 more. But it's also a great way to wake up the posterior chain, which is the whole back line of the body. Now, we're going to make it a little bit more challenging. I'm going to cross my arms just like I did in my half rollbacks. Hinging forward, engaging the core and the glutes to come up. I find this one a little bit harder than the long arm version, even though the long arm version gives me a little bit more work to play with in terms of load with the arms out. I don't know, I find I have to work harder in this position. Maybe I'm muscling my way through the long arm version, and this one I can't cheat as much. 2 more. 1 more time. Exhale. Okay, let's look at a single leg version. This is a deadlift, okay? We're gonna do the short arm first and then the long arm. So I'm just gonna bend my leg, little flamingo leg, just like I did when I was in the downward dog position. And I'm just gonna tuck my hands in by my side like this. You can also cross them if that's more comfortable for you. Little bend in my supporting leg, and here's my hip hinge. Then squeezing my bum and coming up. Now, if you need to hold on to something, this is where you would hold on to it. And squeezing the bum to come up. Let's do 2 more times like this. Feeling the challenge in the body, the balance. Now, we're going to reach the arm and the leg out long, and we're going to hinge over that thigh bone and then engage the glute to come back up. Now, even though my legs and my arms are out long, again, I find the short version a little more challenging because I have more counterbalance weight with the arm and the leg long. Last one here. And in, we're going to do the other side. I'm going to turn around. So little flamingo leg, tucking my arms in. You can hold on to the chair or the counter. I'm going to hinge at that hip joint and come back up. Hinge over the thigh bone, squeeze the bum and up. And 2, 1. Reaching it all out long 4 times. Tipping and up. Tipping forward and up. I always think of like those big cranes in the sky, kind of moving through space when I do these deadlifts. One more time, anchoring into your big toe so you don't roll out the foot, and up. All right, to finish, we're doing some side bends, but we're still exploring our levers here. Arms up. We're gonna come up and over for a lovely side bend. Come back to center. Up and over, lovely side bend. Back to center. Hands behind the head. Shorter lever. Feel how there's gentle shifts in the body. Short arms versus long arms. Let's do it again, but in a wide position. Shortening my leg lever, arms overhead, big side bend. Is it easier or harder? Up and over. Hands behind the head, nice side bend. Side bend. And up. Let's finish with a nice roll down. Feet are sit bone-ish distance apart. Head and collarbone and ribs soften all the way to the floor. Enjoy a nice long stretch there. Nice long hang. And then start to roll yourself through the spine. I like to anchor into my heels. Let the pelvis roll under me. And roll myself all the way up. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed this fun little exploration of the short lever versus the long lever, shorter load versus longer load, and how that challenges the body. It was a lot of fun to teach this class, and I really hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. Thank you so much for joining me. It is always a pleasure to be invited into your home, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video. Bye.